All right, Shalom. First and foremost, call hello Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem HaRachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well as well as teach well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. And pretty much in this video, I'm going to be going into an article, as you see here on the screen. This is from Fox13Seattle.com. And the title of the article says, New study finds humanity nearing life expectancy limits. Okay, new study finds humanity nearing life expectancy limits. All right. And as it goes into some bullet points down here, where it says the brief, all right, it says, a new study shows that humanity is approaching the maximum limit for life expectancy. Women continue to live longer than men, but longevity improvements are slowing. And then it says the U.S. ranks poorly in life expectancy compared to other countries facing significant health challenges. Yeah. So basically, as it's going into the life expectancy of humans is supposedly reaches limits and is basically getting lower and lower. Basically people are living less longer. All right. And that's due to multiple things. Of course, the foods, all right, people's diets, things that people put in their bodies, the lifestyles that they practice, okay, their sexual practices, things like that. All right. And of course, not to mention that juice, okay, the juice that the powers that be were telling people to put inside their bodies, from going from 2021 up until now. All right. All these things all put together, okay, have basically led to more death in the earth. Okay. So as the article goes into, it says Los Angeles, a new and this it says from Los Angeles, it says a new study suggests that humanity may be hitting a wall when it comes to how long we can live. All right. Now, in the scriptures, all right, let me get it real quick. All right, bear with me. Yep, this the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 90, and start at verse 9. It says, "For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. Okay, we spend our years as a tale that is told." Let's read that in the NLT. Psalms 90, verse 9 in the NLT. "We live our lives beneath your wrath, ending our years with a groan." Okay, you basically catch hell from the time that you're born all the way up until the time that you die. Okay. It says, verse 10, "The days of our years are 60 years and 10. Okay, score equals 20. So 60, all right, 3 times 20, that will give you 60. And then when you add 10 to it, it gives you 70. So on average, as it's saying in verse 10 right here, our years to date, the years of our lives, so basically on average 70 years. Okay, 70 years. And it says, "And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, 80 years." Yeah, so on average, we live up to 70 years in this current time, all right, which is, very, very low, especially when you go back to the time of our forefathers. All right, speaking of us Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, when you go back to the time of our forefathers in, Genesis, the 5th chapter, going from Adam down to Seth, all the way down to Noah, okay? Basically, our forefathers, starting with Adam, were living almost up to 1,000 years. Okay, 900 and something years, 800 and something years. All right. And matter of fact, as it tells you right here, Genesis 5, verse 5, and all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. So in the beginning, going all the way back to the time of Adam through Seth, down to down to Noah. Okay, the sons of God, basically. We were living almost up to 1,000 years. Okay, over 900 years. All right, but as time went by, all throughout history and all throughout the generations. Okay, as our forefathers did more wickedness throughout the time. Okay, committed sin more and more throughout the time. Broke that first covenant and whatnot. The days of our lives basically got lower and lower to now in this current time. We as Israelites, sons of God, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we can barely live past 80 years. All right. We went we went from living almost 1,000 years to barely living 80 years on the earth. Okay, so that just goes to show you how much we as a nation have fallen to such a low state. Okay, so it says, let me go back to Psalms. Psalms 90 verse 4 says, for 1,000, Salakia, hold on. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me read that. That's the spirit. So Psalms chapter 90 verse 4, for 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. Yeah, and as scripture says in Second Peter the third chapter, if I'm not mistaken, it tells you that 1,000 years is likened to a day to the Lord, as one day to Yahweh Shema Shai is 1,000 years on earth. So going back to the time of Adam, we were living almost a full day in the eyes of the Lord, 1,000 years. Okay, but now, we barely make it to 80 years old, much less 100, which that's damn near like a nanosecond to the Lord, if you will. All right, and barely if that. Okay, and ultimately it's all because of what? Because of iniquity, sin, just constantly going off over and over and over, all throughout history, all throughout the generations. Okay, so it says again, Psalms 90 verse 10, the days of our years are 60 years and 10, 70 years. And if by reason of strength they be 80 years, 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off and we fly away. Yeah, so on average, okay, people on the earth, especially we Israelites, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, on average, we only live to about 70 years, 70 years, give or take. And if by reason of strength, if we're healthy enough, we can manage to live an additional 10 years, make it up to 80 years. All right. But it's still, all in vain. Okay. Because it goes to show you how much, we as Israelites and humanity as a whole and the planet Earth as a whole has been brought to such a lower state. Okay. To such a weakened state. All right. And it says, yet is their strength, labor, and sorrow. Yeah. Because, basically, once you pretty much become, a young adult, in your late teens or your early 20s, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, 21 years old, all right? From the time you basically become a young adult in the society, if you don't, go to college or go to school or whatever, then basically you pretty much just have to go straight to work. You get your first little job or whatever, maybe at a fast food joint flipping burgers or delivering pizzas or whatever. And then, you constantly, work yourself up to, possibly getting another job or a better job or try to start some little career here and there. And, you're pretty much working and working and working all throughout your adult life. And you retire, maybe maybe in your 60s, your early 60s, and mid 60s or whatever, only to just only to just basically be free, okay, and not have to work for no more than about 10 years before you eventually you go back to the spirit world. They say the average age of retirement is about what, 65 years old, and as we just read in the scriptures, the average life expectancy according to the scriptures is 70 years, three score and 10 years, and if by reason of strength 80 years, four score years. So you retire at around 65 years old, just to associate, be free from working and not have to work no more for only another 5 to 10 years, or possibly even 15 years before you eventually perish to the spirit world. Okay, and that's hell. All right, that's hell on earth. You do all this work and all this labor throughout your adult life. Okay, you barely have time to enjoy your life. You barely have time to enjoy your children. Okay, you barely have leisure time from your work. All right, and by the time you do retire and decide to stop working, you only have a few years left before eventually you go back to the spirit world. Okay, and so that's why, as it says again at the latter part of Psalms 90 verse 10, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. All right, yeah, soon cut off. Our short little lives, as the scripture says, roughly paraphrasing, that our life is like a vapor. It's here right now, but then soon it goes away, it perishes. All right. And then in the little short period of time that we're here on earth is full of sorrows, full of labor, full of, aches and infirmities and catching hell and constantly working. All right. Paying bills and taxes and all these things. All right. Just going through it. All right. And now all this hell that's on earth, due to this wicked system, of course, ran by Esau Edom, has basically led to, life expectancy of humans reaching an all-time low. All right. So going back to the article, it says a new study suggests that humanity may be hitting a wall when it comes to how long we can live, despite advances in healthcare, genetic research, and the growing number of people hitting 100 years. The jump in life expectancy has been tapering off. Okay. Yeah. And a lot of, the life expectancy basically hitting a wall, so to speak, as this article is going into, it's caused by, several things. People's poor diets. All right. The things that people put into their bodies, their habits, their sexual practices. All right. Their lifestyles. Okay. And again, not to mention that juice, all right, that jump shot that's been offering a lot of people from 2021 up until now. Young, young healthy teenagers and young healthy athletes in the prime of their lives just dropping off. Okay, why is that? Since 2021 up until now, why we've been having so many young people just dropping off. Okay, over recent years. All right, blood clots. Young children catching heart attacks and all these things. What's been causing that over the past few years? All right, but let's see. Going into some more of this article. Uh, let's see. I'll go down to here where it says who's living the longest. All right, it says, if you thought Americans were leading the way in life expectancy, think again. The study tracked life expectancy from 1990 to 2019 in places known for longevity. Think Australia, Japan, and Switzerland. It says, and while the U.S. did make the list, probably because, as Olshansky said, we live here. We didn't crack the top 40 for longest living populations. All right. Says, I'll jump down to right here. Okay, it says, why? The U.S. faces a range of issues that cut lives short, from drug overdoses and gun violence to obesity and healthcare inequalities. These problems have made it hard for the U.S. to keep pace with other developed nations in terms of life expectancy. All right, yeah, just you know, just tribulation and calamities all over the country. As it went into from drug overdoses to gun violence to obesity and people just being out of shape and having bad health. Okay, which a lot of that is caused by what? Poor diets, poor lifestyles. You know, people putting things in their bodies that they're not supposed to. Okay, and and as winning again, drug overdoses, gun violence. People trying to escape the reality of what's going on by getting hooked on all types of drugs and things that shouldn't be put in their bodies. Gun violence. People just losing it and taking the lives of the person next to them. Okay, all because of whatever dysfunctionality is going on in their lives or whatever shortcomings that's going on in their lives. It's just hell all over this place, especially here in Babylon the Great. And that's why the scriptures refers to this place as the shadow of death. All right, let's get that. All right, Psalm chapter 23. This is a psalm by King David. All right, Psalm chapter 23 and verse 4. He says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Okay, yeah. And the valley of the shadow of death is ultimately talking about America. Okay, when you think about a valley is a low region or a low place between two mountains. Okay, and America could be likened to that. Because on a physical scale, all right, on a physical perspective, America has two major mountain ranges in it. You have the Appalachian Mountains on the east, and you have the Rocky Mountains on out there in the west, Midwest. Okay, so that's looking at it on a physical perspective. All right, but yeah, as I said, this place, Babylon the Great America, is a valley of the shadow of death. Is a low place, a low vibrational, low level place, and is as a shadow of death. All right, and when you think about a shadow basically follows you wherever you go. Like your shadow. All right, when you're out in the sun and you're walking around, you look down on the ground and you see what? Your shadow. And your shadow literally goes wherever you go, and that's likened to what death does to the average person in this country. It just follows people wherever they go. You got death in the food, death in the water, death even in our clothes. Okay, death in the air that we breathe, death in the water that we use in our households. To shower, wash our clothes, wash our dishes, brush our teeth. Okay, death is promoted through TV, through the entertainment and the music and the movies and the video games and all of that. Death is promoted through the politics. Okay, death is promoted in the education system. All right, the religions in this world. Okay, just death all over the place. It's like a shadow. You just can't escape it. All right, let's look up this term, shadow of death. It's Strong's H6757 says Taza Tazalamwath Tazalamwath. All right, Tazalamwath, and it says death, deep shadow, deep darkness. Uh, Definition C, deep shadow of distress, extreme danger. Okay, definition D, death, shadow of place of the dead. Right? And you notice it says death, shadow of place of the dead. And you notice it says speaking in a figurative sense, meaning in a spiritual sense. All right, because of course, not only is America, full of the dead in the physical sense. You got graveyards, pretty much in every city across the United States. Just people dropping off left and right over various issues, whether it be health issues or gun violence or whatever the case may be. But as I said, this place is ultimately a place of death in a figurative sense, in a spiritual sense. Okay, people are just, people here in Babylon the Great are just at a low level, dumbed down, stupid. Okay, they don't know what the hell is going on in the world. Okay, they're too stupid to realize. A lot of people, not all people in America, because just as we still have a lot of dumbed down, stupid people in this country. Okay, you do at the same time have a lot of people waking up in this country as well. Waking up to the fact that their government is screwing them over. Okay, more and more, their tax dollars are being spent in vain. Okay, their president is incompetent. All right, just go on TikTok and these different social media platforms. You got all kinds of people making videos cursing this system out. All right, mostly Edomites. You see, but on the same token, you still have people in this country that's still wandering after the beast. Okay, still trusting this government, still trusting the pharmakeia, all right, and all of that. Still trusting the system, all right. And all this wrought forth is nothing but death, both on a physical scale and on a spiritual scale, all right. All this system does is just dumb down its people, okay. Ruins their health, destroys their family structure, destroys their schools structures, destroys their so-called communities, right? This system just does nothing but destroy its own people. Okay, is the valley of the shadow of death. Death follows us everywhere people go. All right. Then the Strong's definition, it goes into shade of death, i.e., the grave, figuratively calamity. Okay, calamity. All right. And as a matter of fact, the scriptures also says in the book of Job, this is Job chapter 10, start at 20. It says, "Are not my days few? Cease then." Hey, are not my days few? You know, three score and 10 years, 70 years, and if by strength, 80 years, 80 years. All right, that's just a few days. The average person is in a society would say, living up to 80, 90 years old is living a long life. Okay, living a so-called long life. But yeah, when it comes to the scriptures, man, living up to 70, 80, 90 years, that's just but for a moment. Okay, according to Yahweh Shema Shai and those of us that's of the spirit. Okay, living up to 90 years, 80 years, whatever, that's just a vapor. Okay, that's a short period of life. All right, especially compared to our forefathers, going back to Genesis the 5th chapter, from Adam down to Seth down to Noah. We were living almost up to 1,000 years. Hundreds of years. All right, and healthy. You see. But it says again, Job 10 verse 20, "Are not my days few? Cease then and let me alone, that I might take comfort a little." Verse 21, "Before I go whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death." Okay, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. You see that? And that's why this place, Babylon the Great, America, is a land of darkness. It's a shadow of death, because there's no order in this place. All right? From the leadership of this country on down. All right, first and foremost, you have the governmental structure all divided up. Okay, Democrat, Republic, All right, Democratic and Republican parties, liberals versus conservatives, progressives, all these different political parties and political ideologies. All right, that's out of order within itself. Okay, because in a country that has a stable government structure, all right, all the members of that government structures are supposed to basically believe in the same thing, all right, and be of one mind and be on one accord, as Scripture speaks of in Corinthians, all right. But if you have a system like this here in America, Babylon the Great, where all the government officials don't always agree on things, they're all divided up between these different political parties and political ideologies. Okay, that brings forth a society of darkness. Okay, just confusion all over the place, death. All right, no order within the family structure, no order within the school system, no order within anything. All right, and it's led to what? As it said in the latter part of verse 22, where the light is as darkness. You try to make sense of certain things in this world and say that, this should be this and that should be that. Okay. Because of all this confusion and darkness that's pushed by the leadership of this place, the average person in society, when you try to make sense of certain things that's going on in this country, they look down upon you. Because what? Everything that they've been taught in society as lies, they've been beaten down to make it believe that that is true. Okay? And that everything that's true and that makes sense, all right, and right, all right, they look at it as evil and wickedness. All right. So light, truth in this place, because everything is so out of order, is looked at as darkness. All right. Let's look up this term darkness. All right. Strong's H5890 says ayapa, ayapa, and it just says darkness. It goes into obscurity, as if from covering darkness. Okay. And the scripture says in Isaiah, gross darkness cover the people. All right, gross darkness going into what? All right, basically all this lies and deception and propaganda and confusion that's put over the minds of the people from the powers that be in this world. Okay, no order. Truth is looked at as lies and deception and all these things. All right, and that's ultimately what led to Babylon the Great being as a shadow of death. Okay, when you have society that has no order, that's not founded upon any truth, okay, or wisdom, especially the fear of the Lord, okay, but instead is only founded upon confusion and great robbery and murder, all right, and deception, all right, then that society is ultimately going to end up being a society of death. All right, death is going to flourish in that society, okay, instead of life. All right, but let's get this. Go to Sirach. Sirach 39. Sirach 39 and 26. It says, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil, and clothing. Verse 27. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners they are turned into evil. And so all the things that are listed right here in verse 26, when these things are operated by the godly and handled by the godly, okay, those that fear Yahweh Shema Shai, then they're used for good. Okay, they're used for the benefit of mankind. Okay, but when these things are in the hands of the wicked, all right, that of especially Esau, Edom, when all these things are in the hands and in the control of the wicked, they're turned into evil. Basically meaning what? They're weaponized. You know, and a lot of pretty much all of these things that are just listed in verse 26. Water, fire, iron, salt, wheat, milk, Okay, even the clothes that you wear. All these things in this society have basically been weaponized. These things now pretty much work against your body. Milk is not all that healthy to consume anymore. Okay, the bread is all defiled, the water is all defiled. Okay, salt is all defiled. All right, even fire. Here it is. Fire is one of the things that's used as a cleansing agent in the scriptures. All right, along with water as well. But these things are all defiled. Okay, the things that will be that's used in the scriptures to be cleansing agent. All right, they they pretty much can't cleanse like they were able to do in times past because of what? Because Esau Edom has done such a great job at just the ruining nature and ruining life. You see, even down to the clothes that we wear. It's all made out of mixed fabrics. All right, and you can even look up yourself. There's videos that you can find on TikTok and Instagram and social media and whatnot, and maybe even YouTube as well, where like a lot of these high end clothes that are made by these high end brands, and a lot of your the jeans that the denim jeans that you buy in the store. A lot of these clothes have are coated with toxic chemicals. Certain chemicals that they're coated with that basically mess with your skin and mess with your health. All right. A lot of the jeans that you buy in the store have chemicals sprayed on them and whatnot. A lot of the clothes that you buy, the shirts and jackets and vests and stuff like that. Okay, even these things are all defiled by the wicked. Okay, and of course, not to mention a lot of these clothes that we wear are made out of mixed fabrics, which is against the laws in the scriptures. All right, so when all these things are in the hands and control of the godly, the righteous, they're turned for good. Okay, they're turned for the benefit of mankind. But when these same things are in the hands and in the control of the wicked, all right, these things are turned to evil. They're weaponized. All right, and that's all ultimately brought forth what the life expectancy of people being lower and lower. All right, this is shadow of death. Okay, let me get this. So the second Esdras, second Esdras 4, and I'm gonna start at 26. It says, "Then answered he me and said, The more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel." Yeah, because basically when you read up above, Esdras was basically harping on how much wickedness was going on in the earth at that time, as he was in the ancient Babylonian kingdom. All right, just like we're here in the modern day Babylon the Great, America. Okay, Esdras at that time, he was basically constantly meditating on, all the wickedness that was going on in the earth at that time, all the wickedness that was going on in Babylon. Okay, all the wickedness that was going on amongst our people around that time. All right, to the point to where the Lord had to basically send an angel to comfort him. So the angel was basically telling him here in 26 again, uh, basically the more you try to search, the more you're gonna marvel, because hey, it was just so much wickedness going on the earth at that time. All right, that basically the more you try to find out the wickedness, the more you basically bug yourself out. Okay, and how much more in this time? You know, you could only imagine the type of stuff that these elites are doing behind closed doors. Okay, the type of witchcraft and left hand practices that they do behind closed doors and in darkness and whatnot. Okay, if the Lord were to like literally have certain people go on social media and on the internet and whatnot and expose like all the wickedness that these elites do on behind closed doors, hey, it will bug us out. Okay, communicating with demons and doing all types of left hand magic and spells and whatnot. Like if we were to really like get an insight on the stuff that they really have going on the left hand side, it will bug us out. We will marvel at it. Okay? So it says again, 2 Ezra 4:26, then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteth fast to pass away. Okay, yeah, the world is through. This current world is on a brink of perishing. All right, and it says, verse 27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come. For this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. And just as that described the world back then, during the time of the ancient Babylonian kingdom, okay, how much more does that perfectly describe the world that we're living in right now with the modern day Babylon the Great America in the rulership. Okay, this current world is full of all manner of unrighteousness and infirmities. Okay, which infirmities goes into what? Sicknesses and diseases. All right. And, all these diseases and sicknesses and, health issues that people have in this world that's leading to their life expectancy getting lower and lower is all because of unrighteousness being done in the earth. There's no fear of the Lord in the earth. There's no respect or reverence to Yahweh Shem Shai in the earth. There's no respect to righteousness, no respect to truth. Okay. No respect to nature. All right. No respect to order. No respect to family structure. Okay. And because this current world, led by the powers that be in this world, the elites of Esau Edom, because this world is founded on so much unrighteousness and rebellion against the Lord, is led to many infirmities in this world. People are basically through, okay, through on all levels, through health wise, through mental wise, through spiritually, okay, and that's why there's so much confusion and death in the world because of unrighteousness. All right. Let me get one more and close it out. All right. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. All right. An unwise king. What makes a king unwise? Okay. A king that doesn't rule according to the instruction and the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai. The laws and the commandments. Okay. Taking care of the earth. Taking care of the animals properly. All right. Ruling over people properly. All right. Not defiling the foods, not defiling the fruits and the vegetables. Okay. Destroying the seeds of the fruits and the vegetables. All right. When you do these things, that makes you unwise, an unwise king. All right. And that's exactly what Esau is doing in the earth. Okay. So it says, Sirach 10, verse 3 again, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah. So Esau Edom, through all of his wickedness and sin and unrighteousness that he promotes in the world, he's destroying people. All right. He's destroying the earth. He's destroying nature. He's destroying the animals. That's why, again, going back to that article, life expectancy is so low. Okay. Because this earth needs new management, as brothers always say. Okay. The wicked need to be taken. The power of the wicked needs to be taken out of the earth. Okay. And ultimately what? Verse 4. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Yeah, and that's Yahweh Shai and the tabernacle of David. Okay. And, in order for all this wickedness to be rooted out of the earth, the Lord has to set up one that is profitable to rule over this earth. And again, that's Yahweh Shai and the tabernacle of David. Okay. Via the kingdom of heaven. And once Yahweh Shai in the kingdom establishes the kingdom on the earth, the throne of David, okay, all this death, all this confusion, all this unrighteousness and infirmities that's in the earth right now, it's all going to be rooted out, okay? And death will no longer, be the end thing on the earth, because life is going to be the end thing on the earth in the kingdom, okay? The laws and the commandments, okay, righteousness, order, manhood, all right? And that's just to name a few, okay? So, yeah. So that's pretty much all I have for this lesson. In this article again, this is from Fox13Seattle.com. Okay, new study finds humanity nearing life expectancy limits. Okay, and that's why Yahweh Shema Shai, scripture speaks about is shortening up the days. This wicked rulership, all right, this wicked rulership ran by Esau Edom has led to much death and destruction and infirmities in this world. So that's why you see, the days going by faster, the weeks going by faster, the years going by faster. Because what? The Lord is shortening up the days, all right, or else what? No flesh should be saved. Okay, the life expectancy will basically drop down to zero if the if the Lord didn't shorten up these days. Okay, so that, hey, there's just more reasons why we, the hopeful elect, haste for the day of Yahweh Shai returning. So that righteousness can be established in the earth again through via the kingdom. All right. So you can pretty much look up this article on your own and read the rest of it. But pretty much with that being said, Lord willing, this video is edifying. I want to say, call halal yamla, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well as well as teach well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth.